Joining us from Mumbai, India today is the founder and chief of a company called Novatium. Let's meet Rajesh Jain, the inventor of this little baby here, known as the Novatium.DAT PC. Rajesh, welcome to the program. First of all, what can I do with this Net PC that cost me, I don't know, about 140 US dollars? Can I do the same thing I can do on my IBM, HP, or Dell laptop?
Absolutely. The Nova Net PC gives you desktop-like performance. It can connect up to Windows and it can connect to Linux, so it can run all the Windows and Linux applications. But what it does is it takes away the complexity and the expensive price points which computing has so far had. So reduce the cost and complexity, bring in simplicity, bring in affordability, shift computing to the server and make the desktop very simple, and that's how we want to target the next billion users in the world.
And what this puts computing power in the hands of people who otherwise, if they had to go to the normal channels, would not probably in their lifetimes have access to computing power, correct?
That's correct. In fact, in a country like India, about 3/4 of the internet access happens from cyber cafes. And that's the first target segment for us, the middle of the pyramid, as it were, in India. So users going to cyber cafes, now what we're telling them is that for $100 upfront and $10 a month, you can now get computing at home.
And what are the mechanics of this? I just showed people the RCA ports in the back, a couple USB ports. Basically, all I have to do is just hook up a mouse, which you can have for a few dollars US, a little keyboard. You can use an existing television set and plug in your AC power supply, and you're pretty much ready to go as soon as you have a server site set up.
That's right. This is server-centric computing. So you will need a server-side infrastructure, which is typically going to be set up by either the telecom service provider or the cable service provider. So they would have a server-side infrastructure, and you would then, almost like a mobile phone, connect this to a TV or a monitor and get going. All the computing, all the storage happens on the server.
Okay, so basically there's nothing turning inside, no hard drive or anything. You're just using a small amount of flash memory. Is that how it works? Basically everything is solid state?
Yeah, that is correct. There is no local storage. So what we've done is taken the elements which bring in complexity and bring in cost and gotten rid of those. We have taken advantage of the fact that now there are broadband networks. So how do you reinvent computing in a world where broadband exists? So because of the broadband networks, we can actually do things on the server side and then ship the screenshots, ship the keyboard and mouse inputs back and forth, and just simplify computing so there are no virus problems. You don't have to worry about manageability issues, etc. And we think that for the next set of users, simplicity in computing is going to be as important as affordability.
So there are limits though, right? I can't download 100 gigabytes or 100 million zigabytes or whatever you call it of photos. This is purely to put the internet in my hands.
You can actually download. It will just be stored for you on the server side, and if you want to actually take a copy of it away, you have USB ports, so you can stick in a USB stick and take it away with you.
Okay, so in other words, I can use like a Photoshop site or Adobe Photoshop or something like that. I just don't need to keep it on the thing itself, and therefore I don't need a firewall, I don't need anti-spyware, adware, I don't need antivirus, I don't need to worry about Trojans or anything like that.
That is correct.
This is quite amazing. If I were a Hewlett or a Packard or a Compaq or a Michael Dell, I wouldn't be very happy about this. You must be raising a lot of fur on people's backs.
See, actually what we are looking at is it's the non-consumers of computing today. We believe that the next set of opportunities in computing are going to come targeting users in countries like India, China, Thailand, Brazil, etc., where they've not been exposed to computing. So these are the non-consumers today. They don't use computing. They are the next emerging users. And they require, I think, solutions at fundamentally different price points and at a level of simplicity which we have not seen so far in computing. So companies like HP and Dell, I think they should be looking at these kinds of markets, but it will require a fundamentally different business model to target these consumers. I think what happens here is that instead of just selling a box, you've got to look at computing as a service. You call it utility computing, call it subscription computing. Basically, computing becomes a service, and you can borrow ideas from the mobile industry, a simple device, an end-to-end service, and a platform with a billing capability, which actually lets you, lets content providers and service providers come up with applications and services and rely on something other than just advertising, because we have a billing relationship like what is there in the mobile phone.
Okay, Rajesh, we're going to continue this chat in a little bit. Folks, this is really nothing short of a revolution. I just want to show you, you can see that I'm not a weightlifter or anything. This thing weighs, I don't know, maybe 1.5 pounds or something like that. Very inconspicuous, can just sit on a coffee table or just right under your television set. Got all the connections you want. Putting the power of web computing in your hands for a song. We'll continue our chat with Novatium's Rajesh Jain when Voices continue.